What's up, everybody? Thanks again for stopping by my newest video. But if you'd like to read the full article recapping this game, be sure to click the first link in the description. Thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Matthew Barton. We are back at it at Coyer Field for week 2 of college football. Today we have the Buffalo State Bengals taking on the Hartwick Eagles. The Bengals are making their walkout behind me at the moment. Captains are taking midfield. But this is the 9th meeting between these two teams, surprisingly, in such a long history of college football. The Bengals actually hoist a 7-1 all-time record against the Hartwick Eagles, which right now it looks pretty nice, except for the fact when you think about it, that was back in 2018 was the last matchup. So it's been almost just about 8 years since these teams last matched up. But the last time they did match up was actually right here at Coyer Field, and the Bengals came home with a dominant victory, the score of 41-7. And the thing about that is that 41 number keeps reoccurring, which is a little bit odd. Despite all the history, the Bengals' dominance, none of that matters because last week the Hartwick Eagles actually defeated the Maine Maritime Academy, which I'm not too familiar with, but they crushed them 56-7. So the Bengals have a big one in for them today. A lot of hype coming from the Hartwick sideline. I hope the Bengals can find some type of motivation after a 41-0 loss last week. One positive for the Bengals, they do have a longer week coming off the last game. They played last Thursday. Hartwick did play last Saturday, so we'll see if that even matters. I don't know if it will. But I have some high hopes for the Bengals this week. I do want more of an even spread of passing and running. It seemed like last game, the Bengals were either all in on the run or all in on the pass. So I think it would be really nice to see a nice balance between the two this game. But on defense, we really want to see just taking advantage of the turnovers. Isaiah DeCamp, linebacker, and Sincere Green, the defensive back, were the defensive leaders last game. So we'll see what they can do this game. But for the Hawks, there's 3 names I wrote down in preparation for this. Akil Williams and Nicholas Masaregli. Those two are the 2 demons on the Hawks. Masaregli last week accounted for 3 of their touchdowns out of the 56 points. Then the quarterback, Dennis Riordan, he threw 230 for 3 touchdowns last week. Had just 3 more touchdowns than the Bengals scored this season. And realistically, we just want to see the Bengals get some points. And, you know, I have a good feeling about this game. So, but in terms of the weather today, it's about 72, 73 degrees. But I do feel some raindrops, so I'm not sure where we're going to take this whole setup. I do have a rain jacket. I actually was late to the game. That's why they're already walking out, because I had to go back home, grab a rain jacket, and come back here. But I'm excited for the game. It is definitely way less busy than the game last Thursday. I think it's just because it's 12 p.m. on a Saturday. So the first quarter is going to get rolling, and I'll update you guys after that. I'm back after one half of play in this Buffalo State Bengals versus Hartwick Hawks game. And finally, we have a game. Obviously, last game, I didn't even get to witness a Bengal point, but we've witnessed multiple Bengals point. The score is 14-12, Buffalo State Bengals. And it has been a heck of a half so far. The game kind of started off, Hartwick was super hyped up. And I think the Bengals hype really got diminished because Nicholas Moore, number 50, he had a faulty scoop and score. It got called back of his incomplete pass. So I think that kind of killed the Bengals' momentum a little bit. And then shortly after that, the Hawks did end up scoring a touchdown. Just a nice little screen pass. I think the touchdown plus just the called back scoop and score did just kind of defeat the Bengals' momentum a little bit. Hartwick was talking a lot. I'm going to keep it honest with you. It sounded like they just learned what the F word was because they were ripping it hard. But like I said in the pregame, I wanted to see the Bengals try to find their number one receiver. Honestly, they really haven't still. It's been a lot of run game, which I'll get into. Number 8, Noah Kimball showed a lot, but for the most part, it's really just an on ground for the Bengals. Amir Cameron actually fumbled it pretty early in the game. There was a defensive pass interference, but thankfully for the Bengals, they were able to actually stop the Hartwick drive, force them to punt, get the ball back, which was epic. I think that just improved the confidence of them getting the ball back, knowing that their defense could get them the ball back, because shortly following that, Bengals were actually putting together drives. It still didn't result in points yet, which you're probably like, how is there no points yet? You said the Bengals are winning 14-12. Just wait. Kind of a side note, but I had dropped my pen under the bleachers. Rookie journalist mistake, right? So I actually had to run to my car and grab a new pen. But when I came back, Amir Cameron was out of the game. He was with trainers. The backup, Severin, he's a freshman, number 10 for the Bengals, was in. And I unfortunately don't know how to pronounce his first name. It's spelled P-T-A-H. I don't know if it's Ta or Pata. But he definitely had some like jitters getting in there. He did throw an interception, which luckily the interception didn't cost the Bengals too much, because we had big plays from players like Isaiah DeCamp, Sincere Green on defense to get the Bengals, just to get the ball back in the offensive hands of the Bengals. The Bengals finally scored a touchdown, and it came in the most amazing way. So after we had the nice drive, third down stop by Isaiah DeCamp, there was a blocked punt after the Hawks had to punt. It was blocked. Guess who grabs it? Number 4, Antoine Hawkins, gets the punt deflection right in the end zone for the Bengals. First points of the whole season, folks. The crowd was ecstatic. It was amazing. No extra point made, but it did get the Bengals on the board, which is nice. So it was 6-6 at this point. Heading into the next drive for the Hawks, it was kind of just, a day in the office. The Hawks drove down, and they ended up getting they really just drove all the way down the field from their initial position, and their quarterback, number 2, Riordan, he kind of had like a nice second ever rush touchdown, which was good for the Hawks. Then this is where things started to heat up for the Bengals. So like I said, Amir Cameron is out, and he continued to be out. I don't know if he's going to return after the half, but it ended up being Severin, Mekhi Johnson, and Jetty Higdon. This trio right here committed some trickery on a reverse play. The ball was snapped to Severin, flipped it to Johnson, flipped it to Higdon, and it was an amazing run, probably the most exciting play of the Bengals season thus far. And then shortly after, Jetty Higdon was able to get a nice touchdown run. 4 words we could say here. Jetty Higdon is him. He has been the Bengals offense, but it did cost them a little bit later because he ended up just being all the game. But at this point, it's 13-12 Bengals. They missed yet another extra point. If you know how to kick a field goal, maybe stop down at the Bengals office later this week. But, the scoreboard's back up. The scoreboard wasn't up this whole game. The scoreboard's back. So, yeah, 14-13. But you're probably wondering, it was 13-12. How did the Bengals get these 2 points to get to their score to 14? The Bengals capitalized on an overhead snap on a Hartwick punt, and they were able to get a safety, add 2 points to their total, making it 14-12. Following this, honestly, I think the Bengals committed to the run a little bit too much. But at the same time, I don't think they have a lot of trust in the freshman Severin yet. I mean, number 8, Noah Kimball threw a pass on a flea flicker. So I hope if Severin does stay in, they can give him a few more chances on the pass. I know he did throw the interception, but who else are you going to go to? You know what I mean? Yeah, the Bengals got the ball back kind of to end the half, but nothing really was made of it. And we are, like I was saying, we are sitting at 14-13 Bengals. The Bengals are up at halftime. And this is going to be a nice second half, an enjoyable second half, hopefully. And hopefully the Bengals can come out with a win here. So There's about 10 and a half minutes till halftime kickoff. Hartwick did start with the ball, so that's good news for the Bengals. It's been a good game so far. I've finally witnessed the Bengals score some points. And also, drop a comment if you like the quarter-by-quarter analysis or the full half analysis. I know this was I'm seeing 8 minutes, so if you guys want a little bit longer analysis, just half, pre-game, halftime, and then post-game, or do you want each quarter? So just drop a comment. I want to try something new. So yeah, I will get with you guys after the post-game. Well, everyone, that is a wrap from Coyer Field here this afternoon in an unfortunate loss. The Hartwick Hawks have defeated the Buffalo State Bengals 29-27 in an absolute nail-biter. Third quarter started off with an unfortunate second interception from number 10, Severin. That actually got him benched. Noah Kimball, number 8, came in, and it was better. I'll say that. It wasn't anything, I don't even know if the Bengals have found their starter or if it's just Kimball is the best that they have at the moment. But he went in, and the reemergence of number 81, Keegan Whitfield, is back. Huge catches, a huge touchdown haul in, which we'll get to. Hartwick honestly looked a little bit sloppy coming out of the second half, but they did pick things up a little bit that kind of led to the Bengals' downfall. The Bengals' defense, though, for as much as Hartwick scored, it was really just because there was 5 turnovers for the Bengals. The Bengals' defense was honestly amazing today. Isaiah DeCamp, Sincere Green, Bratt, and Tinker, all amazing efforts on defense, basically in on every single tackle. Noah Kimball, unfortunately, actually threw a pick 6 when the Bengals were deep in their own end. So it was kind of just the easy pick 6 that they got. Like I was kind of saying, I think the Bengals definitely have a little bit of quarterback trouble going into the next couple weeks. They are going to be back-to-back away games, which is kind of unfortunate. Just because, the bus ride and all that. So number 84, though, William Kitchings kind of emerged as a wide receiver threat, but penalties kind of shot down some drives. There was actually a moment where Hartwick had a big confusion and had to punt, which was really nice for the Bengals. A big defensive stop just to get the ball back in the offense's hand. And that actually resulted in probably last week I said Whitfield had the play of the game, but this week he had the new play of the game. A 78-yard touchdown connection from Noah Kimball to Keegan Whitfield. It was a work of art, I'll tell you that. For every good thing, it seems like for the Bengals, there is just a negative downside. Literally, for the extra point attempt, blocked and picked up and ran all the way back by Hartwick to get the 2 points, making it 22-20. And that blocked extra point was basically the end for the Bengals. After that, the Bengals looked great on defense. Like I said, DeCamp, Green, huge stops. Kimball threw another interception. I think it's good that the Bengals just kept him in to finish the game after this. But that one really hurt us. That was the second interception from Kimball, 4th interception of the day, and 5th total turnover of the day at that point. For as many points as were put up compared to last week, it was still a poor offensive performance in terms of turnovers. Q Williams ended up scoring again for the Hawks and kind of sealing the deal. It was 28-20 at that point. They banged in the extra point to make it 29-20. And at this point, there was a minute 18 left after the Bengals returned it. In their last drive, don't get me wrong, it was a great drive, but it just wasn't quick enough to the line. There was no opportunity for them to even have a second chance. And they did actually score on this drive, which who knows if the Hawks kind of, pressed back a little bit and let them score. But William Kitching scored a touchdown here. He hauled in a nice pass from Kimball. Shout out to Otho Cox. He got in the action, number 18. He was hauling in some nice passes right by the sideline to get out of bounds. Yeah, overall, the Bengals just couldn't do it today. Super close. But, 29-27 looks a whole lot better than 41-zip. So we'll just hope that on these 2 next away games, the Bengals can put some step in. I, unfortunately, will not be attending the next game. I am looking to attend the Hamburg game just because it's closer drive. Some of the games are 2 hours. That's kind of the limit. But, that is a wrap here from Coyer Field. An unfortunate loss for the Bengals, but I think a sign of hope for the Bengals defense going forward that, that could be kind of what they have going forward. I mean, quarterback troubles, like I said, is huge, but definitely more positive coming out of this game compared to last. So we'll see what happens on this little away game stretch. We will be back at Coyer Field for homecoming weekend, so that should be a blast. And I will be trying to get to an away game. But thank you, everyone, again, for stopping by this Bengals recap. My name is Matthew Barton, reporting for myself and the Record, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.